everybody, you are back, and I'm glad you're back today because today we're going to do radicals. And radicals are not hard, but you gotta listen up, man. You gotta know what you're doing. All right, so radical. So let's first of all talk about what it means to be a radical. So anyway, hope you're doing well today. I didn't say hello, I think, properly. Hello. Anyway, how are you? I'm fine. You're fine. I think we're all good. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, radicals. So a radical is something that you probably learned as the word square root. And they look like these things. They look a little bit like division, but they're not division because they've got this tail right to them. Boom, boom, boom. So that's a square root, also known as a radical. Radical. All right, so here's the cool thing about radicals. We don't like them. And so I don't like them, you don't like them, we don't like them, we got to get rid of them. But it's easy to get rid of them. And let me show you how we get rid of them. We get rid of them whenever we take them and we square them. Because remember, when you square something, that means you multiply it by itself. If you take this thing and you square it, what you have now is radical 5 times radical 5. Because to square something means to multiply it by itself. Like 3 squared would be 3 times 3. 5 squared, 5 times 5. Radical 5 squared is radical 5 times radical 5. And by the way, radical 5 times radical 5 is equal to radical 25. And that's good news, guys. Because radical 25, go 25, find your square root button on your calculator, go 25, and there it is, right to the left of your division sign, boom, and you hit it, and then you get 5. So radical 25 is equal to plain old 5, and that's awesome news. Because what that says is that when I square a radical, whatever's inside of it, in this case it was a 5, it just pops out. Look at this, guys. It just popped out. It just popped out. Radical 5 squared is equal to la 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 5. And by the way, if it was, let's say it was radical 7 squared. Let's change the game. You know, Mr. Filer, is radical 7 squared also just equal to plain old 7? Let's find out. 7 times radical 7 equals radical 49 equals 7. So when you square a square root, it's like the square kills the square root, and all you have left is inside, like the nut inside the shell. That's the good part. All right? So let's go to one of our problems, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to do number 15 first, and again, we'll go slow. We'll go slow. Let's try that again. All right. Equals 7. Okay. Okay, so this is the radical of v plus 3, or the square root, whichever you prefer. Minus 1 equals 7. I've made the minus 1 in red for a reason, because just like, do you remember in absolute value, I said you had to get rid of everything else that's anyway connected to the absolute value. You want the absolute value all to itself. Here, it's the same thing, except not the absolute value. It is a radical. So this thing is like beautiful and wonderful and marvelous, but the minus 1, we got to get rid of it. Easy to do it, by the way. Plus 1 to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you must do the same thing to the other. Now, 8. Now the radical's all by itself. Yay! Now we're going to kill it. Okay. Now we're going to kill it. How do you kill it? Remember this? We square it. And by the way, We don't just square one side. Math is fair, guys. We square the other side too. But this square, this little baby 2, is going to kill that radical sign, kill that square root sign. It's going to get rid of it. All that's going to be left is what's inside. The v plus the 3. Nice. Equals 8 squared is 8 times 8, and that's 64. And we minus 3, and we minus 3, and we have v is equal to 61. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. All right? We got the square root or the radical by itself, and then we killed it. And then we solved it. All right? Let's do a little bit harder one. Not much, just a little. Not much harder. All right. So I want to do number 20. Because here, we don't have one radical like we did on the last problem. Here, we've got 2. Got a radical on this side, got a radical on that side. So it makes it a teeny bit harder, but not much. Not much. All right, so again, what kills radicals? By the way, the radical's by itself. There's no number out here. There's no like the radical 3n plus 12 and then outside of it, plus 9. It's just by itself. It's just by itself. This one's also by itself. Let's kill them. Let's kill them, and we know how. Let's kill them with those little squares, the little baby 2s. A little baby 2 will kill a square root. And what's inside will just pop right on out. Isn't that nice? Okay. So now, things should look maybe a little better. I'm going to put a 1 in front of that n. N is also 1n. I'm going to bring all of the variables to the left. I've always done it that way. Minus 1n and minus 1n. And we get 2n plus 12 is equal to 8. Bring all the numbers to the right. The opposite of a plus 12 is a minus 12. And so we're going to get 2n. If you go in your calculator and go 8 minus 12, you're going to get negative 4. You're going to end up with 2n equals to negative 4. 8 minus 12, negative 4. And you're almost done. Divide by 2, divide by 2. N will equal, again, go in your calculator, go 4, hit the negative button, divide by 2, negative 2, bing, bang, boom, bum. Done. Sweet. Okay, let's try one more. Let's try one more. This one's going to be a little bit weirder because it's got a fraction in it, but not much. Not much. If you're following along in your homework, if you're looking on that page, here it is. It's number 19. It's number 19, 3x minus 58. All right. So again, the thing that makes this one maybe a teeny bit harder is we got a fraction. But we still have a radical, or a square root, equals another radical, or a square root. We're still going to kill it the same way. We're still going to put a parentheses around it and square it, and a parentheses around it and square it. And those little baby 2s, here and here, will kill that square root. That 2 kills this square root, and that 2 kills this square root. And so now we're left with x over 10 is equal to 3x minus 58. A square kills a square root. Okay? Now, the next thing is going to be a little bit tricky because we have divide by 10, and we're going to get rid of that. So the way we get rid of that is we multiply everything, guys. Everything by the number 10. Look at this. This is going to get multiplied by 10. This number is going to get multiplied by 10. And even the negative 58 is also going to get multiplied by 10. Everything is going to get multiplied by 10. Ooh. These 10s will cross-cancel each other out. And all that's going to be left is that x, which is on top. Yay, we just got rid of our fraction. 3 times 10, which is 30x. And negative 58 times 10 is a negative 580. Now we're going to bring all of the x's over here. Again, we're going to call this x1x because it is 1x. We're going to minus 30x to both sides. That's going to get rid of that 30x on the right. If you go in your calculator and go 1 minus 30, you're going to get this number. 1 minus 30. 1 minus 30 is negative 29x. These are now gone. Equals, the only thing that's left over here is the negative 580. All right? Now, we're closing in on the answer because we're going to divide. Again, we're not going to divide by positive 29. We got to divide by negative 29. Negative divided by another negative, it makes it a positive x. And that's what we want. 580 divided by 29. 580 divided by 29. 580 divided by 29. I get 20. 20. And by the way, it's a positive 20 because negative divided by negative makes it a positive. All right? And we're going to let you try one now. We'll let you try. Why don't you try number 24? So number 24, I'll put it down here so you can all do it together. Number 24 looks like this. X plus 3 square root equals 1 minus x. Also underneath a radical or square root sign. All right, guys, give it a good shot. Remember, we have to fix it. You know how to fix it. You're going to put it both in parentheses, little baby 2's. Okay? All right, go to work. Pause the video. Pause, pause. Okay. I think we're back. How'd you do? How'd you do? Did you go like that? That should be next. The squares kill the radical signs. The squares kill the square root signs. All right? So the opposite of negative 1x is to positive 1x. We're bringing all the x's from the right on over to the left. We always do that. The variables always come to the left. All the numbers always go to the right. These are gone now. 1x plus 1x is like 1 apple plus 1 apple is 2 apples, but 1x plus 1x is 2x. The 1's still here, so there it is. Minus 3 to both sides. And we get 2x equals, if you go in your calculator and go 1 minus 3, you'll get negative 2. And so now you've got 2x equals negative 2. You've got 2x is equal to negative 2. We divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Leaves us with 1x, or just x. X is equal to, negative 2 divided by 2 is a negative 1. Put it in your calculator. 2, hit the negative button, divide by 2 equals negative 1. And that's our answer. If you got negative 1, you are awesome. If you did not, please review this video a couple more times. All right? Good job. Radicals, they're awesome. And you are awesome for hanging with me. All right? Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.